Hey, it's Matthias Neu, and I'd like to describe real quick how to configure a digital output charm of the AMS Asset Monitor box. So for doing so, as we have already connected to our box and moved into the charm section, I'm just pressing onto the digital output charm shown from the bar over here, and you see it is not configured by now, so I can choose one of the two configuration buttons by just clicking on it. On the basic section of the configuration, you see that we have opportunity to enable or disable the charm completely. We can enter a name, so leaving it with charm for monitor number 1 at slot number 6. Just entering a description and a cabling ID. This is optional, it's not a general requirement for configuration, but I'm just calling it DO for describing it and entering any number for the cabling ID over here. So at the lower part we see the details, and this is exactly where to configure the digital output functionality. And from functionality perspective, it could be three different options. So we're having a discrete output, which means finally whenever a signal becomes true, it will be provided to be true at the output. Whenever a signal becomes false, it will be provided to be false at the output. So this is just discrete output. From failure mode opportunities here, you see that we can decide what will happen if a charm loses the communication to the controller finally, if it should hold the last value or it should go back to an initial failure state or a specified failure state. So failure action value could be off and initial value could be whatever is set up over here. It could be on or off as well, if it was that way. And last but not least, we were having line fault detection, which means with having an external resistor network connected, we can check the loop connected to the output, the digital output charm finally, and indicate if there is anything going wrong to the cabling. So if it is an open wire loop or if anything is disconnected. Well, the second opportunity we have on functionality level is to make it a momentary output. And a momentary output means finally that in case that a pulse comes in and makes the output becoming true, it will stay true for a defined time, and this is the on time over here. And also if the input is still remaining in true level, it will fall back to false at the output finally. So this is what the momentary output is doing. It always activates the output for a period of time as specified with the on time value, and after that it automatically falls back until the next time true condition comes into the module. Also here, failure action mode and failure action value can be set up in case that the charm itself loses its connection to the controller, and line fault detection is available as well with having the external network connected. So for the last option on functionality perspective is a continuous pulse output. And this means as long as the condition, the input condition of the digital output is true, and we're having failure action mode and failure action value settings as well, we're able to drive pulses, high-low level pulses out of the charm itself for further processing to external processing, so into any PLC, for example. And it's an initial on time that can be set up, and the pulse period and on time as well. So with the initial on time, we're specifying how long the pulses should be sent, and with a pulse period, it's a high and low value to be set up over here. And last but not least, we're having line fault detection again as well. So after having set up everything, we can just press the save button for going back into the overview. And what we see now is that the output is shown with a frequency as I have configured it to continuous pulse output now. So it's providing pulses with a frequency of 25 Hz at that very moment, and showing the green condition that it is working properly and configured correctly. So that's quite everything you need to do for configuring a digital output charm.